Vernon Oakes is a distinguished co-op educator and advocate who hosts a weekly radio broadcast called Everything Co-op. The objective of the show seems straightforward, to teach people about co-ops. But listen to a few episodes and you'll discover a more ambitious plan. Vernon Oakes seeks transformation through co-op education. Vernon Oakes was born in New York City on October 7, 1947. On that day, 1976 Hall of Fame inductee Jerry Voorhees published a letter in the New York Times, encouraging readers to learn more about co-ops. Vernon Oakes continues that quest. Vernon's program is broadcast from Washington, D.C., where he moved in 1986. He planned to build a business as a residential property manager in Chocolate City. Vernon's road to D.C. and cooperatives took him from New York to West Virginia to Pennsylvania, California, Indiana, and Puerto Rico. From the beginning, he confronted systemic racism. In elementary school, kids called him the N-word so often it felt like his middle name. When Vernon was 1 year old, the family moved to West Virginia, where his father's family is from. In 1955, schools in Bluefield were just beginning to integrate. That meant frequent fights on the playground for Vernon and his 6 siblings. Although Vernon was a bright child, he was placed in remedial classes because of a speech impediment. He also struggled with reading comprehension and writing, likely because of undiagnosed dyslexia. But Vernon excelled at math and sports. He learned to apply himself from the example of his mother, who spent the early morning hours studying for her undergraduate degree. His football coach told him that a winner never quits, and a quitter never wins. Vernon decided to never quit. After high school, Vernon attended Bluefield State College, where his mother got her degree. As student body president, he fought efforts by Bluefield State's first white president to exclude black students from the historically black college. He later earned a master's degree in mathematics at Penn State and an MBA from Stanford University. The child who didn't like reading became an academic. He taught math at the City University in New York and at San Diego State, where he became the first chair of African American Studies. After business school, Vernon joined Cummins Engine Company in Indiana. After a few years, he relocated to Puerto Rico to run a distributorship there. Education was his calling, though, so he returned to teach marketing at Howard University and to run their MBA program. He designed training programs for the U.S. Department of the Interior. In 1993, Vernon opened Oakes Management Incorporated, a property management business in Washington. Limited equity housing cooperatives were among the first buildings that Vernon's company managed. He admired the business acumen of the mostly black women who ran the co-ops. He was also intrigued by the business model that guided them. Vernon dug deep into the history of cooperatives. He was especially interested to learn about the role of black Americans in the modern cooperative economic movement. Vernon became a spokesperson and advocate for cooperatives. He joined the Potomac Association of Housing Cooperatives and the National Association of Housing Cooperatives. He met Roger Wilcox and Herb Fisher, who became his treasured mentors. In time, he assumed leadership of NAHC. In 2014, Vernon and Pat Thornton decided to create a radio program to promote the cooperative business model and celebrate Co-op Month. He enjoyed the project so much, he continued at his own expense. When NCB CEO Chuck Snyder heard about Vernon's dedication, he quickly offered the bank's support. NCB has been a primary sponsor of Everything Co-op ever since. Over 10 years and 400 episodes, Vernon has interviewed cooperators from every sector. He has spoken with more than 100 co-op advocates. Every conversation advances the cooperative movement by elevating the voice of cooperative leaders. In 2018, Vernon Oakes received both the Stan Dreyer Award from National Cooperative Bank and a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Potomac Association of Housing Cooperatives. In 2022, he was honored with NAHC's highest honor, the Jerry Voorhees Award. Vernon is now a member owner of Columinate, a national consulting and management services cooperative. He is part of a team that is developing a property management alternative for manufactured home communities. When Vernon is not preparing for his radio program or offering practical financial advice to clients and colleagues, he can be found on his motorcycle, traveling in his RV, or on the dance floor. Dame Pauline Green once said, "Co-ops help people come out of poverty with dignity." The message resonated with Vernon and motivated his action. For 3 decades of support for cooperative housing in Washington, D.C., and for 10 years of thoughtful questioning and engaging co-op storytelling, we honor Vernon Oakes tonight with induction into the Cooperative Hall of Fame.